Okay, so what we're going to talk about next is discipline. This is probably the hardest thing to get over. Um, and like to this day, I still struggle with this, right? We already talked about over trading, over risking. We talked about using our emotions in the market. What can we put that all under, right? We can put that all under discipline, right? If you're not disciplined in the markets, you're going to make yourself unprofitable, right? You need to be disciplined in following your strategy and nothing else, right? But that's not what we're going to talk about this video because we kind of already talked about it in the other psychology videos. We're going to talk about discipline outside of trading. Um, if you really want to become successful and this is the thing that you want to do, you need to be disciplined in everything else that you do. If you're watching these videos, you're probably pretty young and you're probably very um, undisciplined, I would say. And I don't want you to take offense to that. I just need you to realize that you are undisciplined, okay? Because you need to be able to. And what I recommend is everybody go watch the TJR bootcamp and watch every single video. It's like 57 videos. That's like basically 2.5 months. If you can do that without missing a day, without missing notes, then you can know that you're gonna make it in trading, right? Take notes over every single day, right? That's not the strategy that we use, but it's something to help you understand what this is gonna take. This is not gonna happen in 3 weeks, 2 months, right? You're not just gonna start making money, right? For most people, it takes 2 years. I've finally started to make a decent amount of money 1 year in, right? But I had prior knowledge and I have created friends around me that help me understand better and help me learn and become a better person, right? But we need to understand that being disciplined outside of the markets is gonna affect how we're disciplined inside the markets. If we can't go to the gym every day or 6 days a week, 5 days a week, right? If we can't do that consistently and we make excuses and we say that it's other people's fault that we're not getting these things done, right? How do you expect to become a multi-millionaire, right? That is able to drive supercars and you can't even go to the gym 5 days a week? Does that make sense? Like, you need to be doing things in your life. It doesn't even have to be going to the gym, right? You need to be doing things in your life that create discipline inside of you, right? Whether that's removing social media from your phone and not using your phone, right? That takes discipline. You don't want to do it. Whether that's going in for a run every morning, right? You need to be doing something, or if not multiple things that are creating you to become a more disciplined person, right? Because if you can't discipline yourself outside the charts, you're never going to be able to be disciplined inside the charts, right? So, um, yeah, that's the biggest thing. And we need to understand that discipline means like sticking to something, right? So we need to be able to stick to this trading thing. It's not going to work in 2 months, right? Like I said, I've barely, I've made a little bit of money 1 year in, right? And this year, I'm hoping it's going to be a whole lot more, right? But it's going to take time. You're going to fail over and over and over again. And you need to have the discipline to get back up, study, right? Understand the strategy better, and go back in ready to learn the skill of trading and be a better trader. Because this, you may be coming into this for money, right? You may be like, okay, I've seen this guy make money off of this, right? I just need some like money, right? But no, this is like a job, okay? Like, it's not just you pop in, you make money, and then you dip, right? Like, this is gonna take time, okay? And it's going to be different for every person, and it's also going to be different for how much work you're willing to put in to become the person that you want to be, right? If you want to be successful in life and you want to have a purpose in your life, you have to make yourself the person that would be worth all that purpose, right? So you don't want to be a lying, cheating kind of person when you're successful, right? Who do you want to, you have to figure out who you want to be when you're successful, right? And discipline yourself to where you're training every day to become that person, right? You think that person, I want you to imagine your future self, right? Do you imagine that person going out drinking on weekdays, like uh, not showing up every day, getting up at 10 every day? Do you see your future self? Do you see yourself being successful in that position? No, of course not, because you're never going to become successful if you're like that, right? So you need to think, okay, what kind of person am I going to need to change and become into to be a successful person, right? And that all has to do with discipline and how much work you're willing to put in. Let me tell you, the last year of school, right, while I've been learning trading, there have been constant nights where I've been up till 2, 1, 2, 3 a.m. studying, right? Back testing, working on understanding these markets, right? Um, because I know that's the only way that I'm going to become successful, right? And on top of that, towards the beginning of the year, I was also running a business, right? We need to understand that the more work that we put in and the more discipline that we have, the faster it's going to happen, right? Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen way faster, but there were literally nights where I would pull all-nighters studying on the markets, and then I would be absolutely exhausted for school tomorrow morning. But it doesn't matter because I'm putting in this work to become successful, right? I don't really care whether I'm tired or if I'm sick. I'm still going to show up and do the work every day. And that's what's going to make me successful. And that's what makes me beat out 90% of the other kids my age. I guarantee you 95% of the kids my age don't have any of the discipline that I have, right? And I'm still not great at it. It's still something that I struggle with. Like, I get this feeling sometimes that that I don't want to do this thing. And then sometimes I don't do it, even though I know I should, right? It happens, but we need to control ourselves and try to make ourselves as disciplined as possible so that we can become successful. So, yeah, that's mostly the most important part. Discipline is the biggest part of trading, discipline in psychology. You need to be disciplined outside of the markets because what makes you think that you can just be undisciplined in your life? Like, if your room is constantly dirty, right? That's not gonna, right? Although it doesn't directly affect your trading, you're not being disciplined in keeping your room clean. Stuff like that, right? So, you just need to understand the level of discipline that you need for this, and um, so yeah, it's just important. The most important thing in trading, and it's gonna have to be something that you work at every day because there's gonna be things you don't want to do. But if you really want to make this work and you want to be somebody of high value, then you're gonna have to learn this skill. So, yeah, that's all for this video. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do for the next video, but I'm gonna try to figure it out. So, yeah.